All right, so welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. So, just called Pam to let her know that I'm at the train station. It is 9:47. The kids' dental appointment is for 10 o'clock. They're not even on their way yet. All right, so she's like, well, I had to stop and get the kids breakfast. And so I'm like, wow. And I'm like, you couldn't even call me? You couldn't even say, hey, you know what? We're running late. I'll let you know when we're out the house so that way you can leave. Right? So now, again, you know, this, what I say all the time, the lack of courtesy on her part. You know, you could at least text me or something to say, hey, you know what, we're just leaving the house. You know, just let you know that way I could have been home, you know, relaxing for a little bit longer, because I barely got sleep. Right? I didn't go to bed until after 3 and up at 7:30. So I was up at 7:30, took a shower, and yeah. You know, this is what they've been doing. So, yeah, I've been noticing these perps, particularly the women, right? The women, female perps, staring at my phone. The guy over there with the purple shirt on, she's staring at my phone and then looking over in his direction. Yeah, I know, they're afraid of this. And what it is, remember, purple is a color that represents royalty. So remember I talk about DNA? And how, yeah, the police, right? They're using the sirens very, very in the new type of way, like, but again, very low in terms of volume. But anyway, remember I talk about the, you know, DNA, right? So how they are looking within the DNA of black people, looking for ancestral ties to certain individuals, a certain group of families. Right? These are, again, like I talk about, you had European monarchies, but you also had African monarchies, right? And their descendants, who are they? We don't know who they are. We know the European monarchies, right? But remember too that you also had black people in Europe prior to the enslavement of Africans, black Africans. You had black people in Europe who were part of the monarchies, right? And there was a mass exodus of Africans in the 14th century by European kings. Okay, so before they see, like I said, the dark triads, these people in power, they know what before they do what they going to do. There are certain things they put in place. So when they wanted to enslave Africans, what do? They basically kicked out all of the African monarchies, the African wealthy families. Kicked them out of Europe. Some of them went to the Caribbean, some of them went back into Africa. Some of them remained in Europe and lost their freedom or were enslaved. That's for sure. So these are the things that, again, they don't teach you in history, right? These are things that you have to figure out on your own, right? So, like Dr. Clyde Winters, he's an excellent researcher, right? And he's basically exposed Europeans for who they are, right? The lies that they told and continue to tell, right? Cover up of history, particularly to deny black people their rightful place in history, but also their birthrights. Okay? No, should I talk about the American flag? That's where he's standing there. Look at him standing there. All right, look what I'm talking about. Yeah. Don't think he's, I mean, he might be waiting for that dude right there, but come on, America. See the guy in the black? See, stick his finger in his ears? Just to let you know what's going on. All right? Just to let you know what's going on. Like I said. All right? But this is what they engage in. This is what they do. Wow, all these construction. I mean, I haven't been over here in a while. Now, here comes the red theme. Follow after the wheelchair theme. Here comes the red theme. Yeah. Anyhow. If you guys watch my videos for a while, you get to see. May not understand, but you guys get to see the kind of patterns, right? Yeah, you guys will definitely see the kind of pattern that it is that they're doing.
Right, I'm like, what's this? Some garbage.
It's very obvious. Very, very obvious. If you know anything about psychological operation, coercive persuasion programs. It is very, very obvious. Oh, I could have took the bus. Look at that. But you know what? I need some walk, some exercise. I definitely, particularly, like I said, look at her watch. Look at mine also. Those actions that they do, they look at their watch, I look at my watch. They stick their finger in the ears, I stick my finger in my ears. They swipe their hand behind the back of the head, I swipe my hand back of my head. Anything and everything that they do, if I have the ability to do it, I'll do it back to them. Right? Without a doubt. Okay, without a doubt. So yeah. Now remember, as a TI, remember everything is planned. It's purposeful because why? Again, when it comes to behavioral psychology, these people are expert not only in analyzing, observing, and creating different behaviors, right? Again, and it's not based on predictability, it is based on the behavior that you're conditioned with, right? Always remember that. So when they want to act as if that, I'll say that, or whatever it is that they try to do, right? To make it look like it's supernatural. See, that's what they tell the religious idiots because they're believers. They don't know, right? When you know, you understand that they use science, right? They use science. They can manipulate you using science, right? Psychology, it's all part of the sciences too. Psychological science, right? So yeah. Now, do you guys see what happened here? As I was approaching, she came out of this is where the dentist is at. So she came out here just to stand up here. Right? Just to stand up here. Now this is children's dentist. Right? This is a kid's dental office. So again, I'm just showing you guys and giving you guys another example of how they'll have their perps already staged, already there, right? And the reason why she come out here is, again, is to let me know about the synchronization, the tracking, right? That is what it is that they do. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that. Now look at how she does with her hands, right? Talking about the palm fixation drill. So that's what she came out here to do. That's all. Like I said, they're always going to find someone or some ways to continue with the cursive persuasion, or psychological harassment, because that's what they do. It is their mindset, and all you have to do is give people a cause, right, or religious narrative, right? Remember, it can be political, it can be religious, it can be corporate, right? It could be the public, like, or national security, public safety, right? Corporate security, right? Religious religious purpose for stalking, for engaging in, again, psychological manipulation, right? Because you can't tell these religious people the truth at all, right? You cannot tell them, particularly when it comes to us as black people, you can't tell us the truth. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell us the truth at all, even though the truth is in our face, and we see it every single day. But you got to understand our cognitive dissonance, our conditioning, how we have been brainwashed using a variety of methods and tactics. So like I said, I don't really, something I might say, like black people are, I said Nigerians, a bunch of dumbasses, but I understand why. When I say that, I don't mean it every single way. I just mean in how they just believe every damn thing. They don't have any critical analyses, do any sort of critical analyses. They have no critical thought. They have no ability to look at things at different angles, because what religion does, religion makes you lack empathy, apathy, common sense, the ability to be honest, because when you're taught lies your whole life, you believe in lies, so you're going to speak lies, right? Doesn't mean that they don't speak the truth in some things, right? But most of the things that they believe in and they talk about and the life that they're living is based on a lie, right? And it's not even a good lie. And I'm talking about for black people. Now, for white people or Arabs or then that's a good lie for them, because they their religion, their God, it looks like them. Their prophets look like them, right? Even when you talk black people, black people back then, who were early Christians, there were a lot of black people who were part of the early Christian movement, right? And a lot of, because again, in the area in which is Northeast Africa, and particularly in Egypt, Kemet, right? The majority of people, they were black. And this is why early depiction of Christ and his disciples are black, right? You know what I'm saying? So even in Europe at the time, they were worshiping a black Madonna, a baby Jesus, a black Christ with his 12 disciples. But again, you can't tell them anything. But again, it's all mythology. Just like in Greece, right? Greek mythology, Roman mythology. They often come in contact with Africans in Kemet, Ethiopia. They were educated, went to create their civilization. But again, you got to go to the source, right? Which is what they wrote. And what they wrote was that we went into Africa for decades to study the Kemetic mystery system. They didn't call it the Egyptian mystery system, right? It was called the Kemetic mystery system. There's a reason why when they talk about ancient Egypt, they don't use the proper word, name, terminology, which is Kemet, right? They leave that out. But it's interesting when they talk about ancient times in other lands, right? They use the ancient terminology or the ancient wording, even though those lands, the name changed. Countries were created, right? So, you know, you know what I'm saying? But again, I just want you to understand the dishonesty, the intellectual dishonesty, right? The historical dishonesty when it comes to black Africans who are the founder, the creators of what we call today Egypt, right? They're the one that built the pyramid. No white pharaoh built any pyramid. You only had European pharaohs when the Greek invaded Kemet. The Hyksos prior to that. I'll say the Hyksos. But they weren't the white people we see today, right? The Greeks, they weren't the white Greeks we see today. The Romans, they were not the white Romans we see today. At least some of them, particularly when it comes to the Romans, right? But you got to understand that. Remember, you had African Roman emperors, right? And historians will tell you that the Greeks in those times, they were like, you know, they were not white. They were of olive complexion, whether it be a darker olive complexion or, and I wouldn't even say olive complexion. They were a brown complexion. Okay, let me put it like that. Right? They were a brown complexion. They were never the so-called white. I can go back into any history, whether you're Japanese, Korean, Chinese. The first people that settled onto those land that built up those civilizations from the start were black Africans, right? Doesn't matter where you go, right? Only, I would say, with the exception of in Europe, where black people turned white people over the thousands of years in which they were trapped in the ice age there, okay? So again, you know, you gotta understand that. You gotta understand what's going on. Yeah, and I'm not coming in right now. I'm not coming in right now, girl. Calm down. Calm down. Okay? So yeah. Anyhow, I'm gonna speak to you guys in the next video because I want to conserve my space, my storage space, and my phone battery. Okay? All right.